This is the most important thing I'll say. I don't care if you click off after I say this, which is why I'm putting it at the beginning of the video. If you actually do want to romanticize your life, if you want to wake up every day or most days and think, wow, I can't wait to start work. I'm ready for work. Let's do this. It really does come down to a mindset thing over anything else. And yes, one of the mindsets you could have is something like, I don't have to go to work, I get to go to work, and that's useful. But I think there's two other mindsets that are a little bit more realistic that are kind of like variations of that. So the first is the work itself. I edit videos as my hobby. I have turned it into my job. When I'm feeling really not motivated, I think, wow, I'm editing videos and I'm getting money to do it. And it's just mind-blowing to me. But you might not enjoy the work itself. Maybe the work you do isn't one of your hobbies. It isn't something you do in your free time. It isn't something after your 9 to 5 you do from your 5 to 9. And I think that's okay because it doesn't have to be. You could think about why you're working in the first place. And I'm not talking about, well, I have to work because we live in a society. Like, yes, duh, okay? I don't think very many people would actually be working jobs they don't enjoy if there was no reason to do it. But what I'm talking about is more like internal motivation. Maybe you're a parent and you are providing for your family that you love. You go to work every day so you can pay rent, so you can buy food, so you can put them through school, so they have a comfortable living environment. And that can be a big driver for you to work and not necessarily feel like you're a cog in the machine, because there's a very good reason behind why you're working. Probably a lot of you watching aren't parents, right? I'm not a parent. I don't have dependents. So for us, motivation is probably going to look a little different. And if you're younger, if you're like in your early 20s, why you're working can be very future focused. For example, you're working so you can put yourself through college. You're working so you can buy a house. You're working so you can move and get an apartment. You're working so you can sustain or have a lifestyle that you want. I know for me, when I'm working, even if I'm having an awful day, an awful week, an awful month, knowing that I am contributing to my future in a very important way is very satisfying for me. I would much rather contribute to my future than not. So I really think mindset is the most important thing you could possibly take away from this video. But there are things to do to make day-to-day life a little bit more enjoyable, especially when you're working from home. And I have a lot of those to share, but before we go any further, I'd like to tell you about the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a platform where therapists and their clients can communicate effectively to get the most out of therapy. Since I was little, I knew I wanted to work for myself in some way. Early on, everyone could tell I was very type A and motivated to work towards my goals, no matter how big or small. Everyone could also tell that I was very prone to stress. And now that I'm older and working for myself, those traits have only amplified. I'm always working on lowering my stress and keeping it under control. I was in therapy very briefly. During our first meeting, she asked, "So when did you notice your stress starting?" And I said, "I've always been stressed." It was helpful because she was able to give me ideas on how to handle my very specific situations that were contributing to my stress levels. If you're also a person who's always stressed out, maybe give therapy a try. The therapists at BetterHelp are experts who can give you guided help, offer effective ways to cope with and solve problems, and give you a safe space to talk without fear of judgment. You don't need to have a clinical mental health issue to benefit from therapy. Therapy helped me manage my stress, but one thing that did kind of stress me out about it was the cost. Therapy can be costly, but online therapy platforms offer affordable options. If you're struggling and think you would benefit from a therapy session, you can click the link in the description of this video, or you can go to betterhelp.com/Alivia Lee and get 10% off your first month of therapy. And thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. First, having lights. Nice lights that you can turn on that's not like the big light. If you watch the desk makeover video, then you already know the deal with these, but some inexpensive ways you could light up your desk space is getting twinkle lights or fairy lights. I know you can't really tell, but these are on. They're just very dim. So if I did this over again, I think I would buy ones that were a little bit brighter. But having 3 different lights, all with different like light colors and brightness levels, is really nice. I do like that. Sunset lamps are amazing. Because the wall is red right here, I usually keep this on pink. I find that just looks better, but you can change it. Ooh, purple looks kind of cool. But you can change it to like a billion different colors. If you want like a warm glow, definitely get candles. I don't always light the candles that I have because they are scented, and it just sometimes that annoys me. I don't always want my space to smell like vanilla pumpkin marshmallow. So if you're the same way, maybe look into getting some unscented candles. I have some somewhere, I just forget where they are. Another is having a cheap caffeinated drink. Cheap being the key word here, because there is nothing cute, in my opinion, about spending $8 on a latte every day, especially if you're not even sitting at the coffee shop, you're just going and buying it and bringing it back home to drink. I don't know, you can disagree with me on that. But my drink of choice recently has been matcha. I was at a discount store and they had these matcha packets for $1 each. So naturally, I got 10 of them. I'm not gonna lie, I have had better, but for $1, and there's 15 teaspoons in each bag. And they don't even expire until October 2025. So I have like a year to drink these. Plenty of time. Another thing I've done, and this has been literally game changing for me, is buying a standing desk and a walking pad. My job consists of mostly just sitting at my desk. Oh my gosh, no. Okay, that's fine. The world is not burning. I just realized I messed something up. It's for my own video, so it's literally fine. Anyways, yes, the walking pad. Obviously, for health reasons, this has been absolutely amazing getting my steps in every day because desk job. And I can't get 10,000 steps when I just go to the gym. I don't run. The fastest I can go is like 3 to 3.5 depending on the day. And even then, it's like an hour. And when I'm going into the gym, I like to do weights. So I don't have to spend more time in the gym and I don't have to do it all at once. It's so nice because I can walk for like 10 minutes if I want. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm over this. I'll just lower it and sit back down. Also, like breaking my days up with movement actually helps me focus a lot better. I found that like when I'm sitting at my desk working and I'm starting to get really tired, sometimes that's my cue to go get food. Sometimes that's my cue to make more matcha. But more often than not, it's a sign that I actually just need to move a little bit. So using my walking pad and then sitting back down and working again, it actually energizes me. And I still don't really understand how that works, but it does. And it does for a lot of other people too, apparently. One of the really nice things about working from home and freelance specifically, you might be able to do this if you work at a company but you do work from home. I can start anytime I want. Like I do not need to be working at a certain time, which is so nice because sometimes I wake up at 6 o'clock and I'm at my desk working, and then other days I'm doing something like this where I want to film a video and I got kind of a late start today, so it is 11 o'clock. Anyways, before I start work, I would love to show you very briefly what my to-do list looks like for the day. I use Notion, surprise, surprise. I'll link the template I use down below. I got it from a different YouTuber. For the most part, I absolutely love how all of this works. I'm sure I've done some changes to this, but for the most part, I'm using it straight out of the template. I'm gonna have to blur a lot of this out because I'm using client names. I feel like leaving that in might be a little weird. So it's really easy. Basically, if you want to add like a new to-do list, I'm just going to click add new page. I'm going to add in the gym because I'm going to the gym later. And then I open it up and I put in 3 because typically it does take me about 3 hours total. I close out work, I get in my car, drive to the gym, workout, drive back, shower. I'm back sitting at my desk. I also eat lunch during this time. And then I press container. I'm gonna type in workout and it adds it to the little workout container. And you can see the hours update here. I have 16 hours of stuff. This day is actually going to be a very easy day. There is nothing that I need to get done today, which is why I'm making this video today. I would not be filming this if I really had like a deadline coming up. So one way I romanticize, I guess, my work days is taking scheduled breaks, like scheduling my work day around when I want to take my break. I'm about an hour behind schedule right now. I was supposed to go to the gym earlier than this, but it's all right. I was in the editing zone, but I do want to get to the gym like now because school's about to get out and people are about to get off work. And I think the gym is just gonna get kind of busy. But if you don't go to the gym, some other things that you can plan your day around is maybe meals or if you have to pick your kids up from school, if you need to go grocery shopping, you know, really anything like that. But obviously this doesn't apply to really busy days, like when I have a deadline due tomorrow and I have to get stuff done today. Obviously work takes a priority over, you know, going to the gym or cooking or seeing people or hanging out with people or anything like that, you know. But also, as a freelancer, I try not to work with people who always need stuff done tonight, need stuff done next day because they didn't plan for it. Hour and a half and I am all good to go. I did only work out for 30 minutes because it was so busy in there. Anyways, with the extra time, I thought I would pot some plants. I really think making your space nice to be in is really, really important. You know, make sure it's functional for you and make sure just, I don't know, it looks nice. I like plants a lot. And something I'm trying is propagating. This is the first time I've ever done this, so we will see if they live. And propagating plants is a really inexpensive way to decorate your workspace because they're free. The only time I think it would get really expensive is if you want to get a lot of them or if you can't keep them alive. Also, pots can be cheap. I have these. I thrifted this glass for $2, I think. It's super cute. I just don't use it. And then my mom gave me this one. It's adorable, but the cup is slanted, which makes it really hard to drink out of. So I thought instead of staying in the cupboard, it would go to better use if I put a plant in it. I guess this would be a good time to say welcome to episode 1 of the freelancing footnotes. I've been freelancing for a bit and I've decided this is definitely what I want to do for the rest of my life, or at least the rest of the foreseeable future. So I want to get more established. Right now I'm working on Upwork, which is fine, I guess, but I want to get off of it and I'll get into why in a different video. I also want to improve my skills and learn new ones that will help my clients. This series is documenting my journey to being an established freelancer, I guess. I named it footnotes because footnotes are those small pieces of text at the bottom of the page and they usually give more information. The idea is I'll get into the weeds about freelancing and talk about all the aspects of it as I learn more about them, like taxes and cold pitching, contracts, habits, useful media, increasing rates, upskilling, just everything that goes into my freelancing journey. Most videos will be in the vlog and documentary style, but every now and then I'll be posting how-tos and tip videos like this one, and I thought this would be a fun way to kick off the series. Like I mentioned before, there's a desk makeover video in the works, so keep an eye out for that. If there's anything you'd like me to make a video about in this series, leave a comment and I'll add it to my list. Another tip for romanticizing your workday. Pick a time when you just log off. You're done. For me, that's anywhere between 5 and 6. Right now it is 5:30. I got what I wanted to get done. And obviously logging out was really easy for me today because I didn't have too much to do. I try to finish up my work by Friday for the most part, but even on my really busy days, I try to log out at roughly the same time every day. I also do start at the same time every day as well. You're not really gonna catch me starting this late when I actually have stuff to do. And being able to log out at the same time every day really means working ahead sometimes, or just starting earlier in the day. And I wish it was as easy as I just close my laptop and I'm done working. But with what I'm doing, I'm working on creative projects. I'm always thinking about it. So I do kind of have a wind down routine, I guess. I didn't even realize I did this until I was kind of putting bullet points out for this video. And I realized I do this every single day. When I log out, when I want to stop thinking about work, I will start a different creative project. Usually is me editing my own videos, which is what I'm about to do now. Or I'll cook and put an episode of something on Netflix, or watch a YouTube video or listen to a podcast. I try not to scroll, but sometimes I do that. But I think you get it. I can't just decide to kind of chill out and do nothing because I will just keep thinking about work. So yeah, choose whatever you want to do. I am about to start editing one of my own videos I would like to get up next week. Ooh, or this Sunday. I won't be able to work on this as long as I usually do, which is until I go to bed. My bedtime is 9:30 because I'm trying to wake up at 5:55 every single morning. But my fiance is coming over at 7 and we're gonna hang out until we head out at 9 because it's my sister's 21st birthday. I don't know if I'll be able to stay awake. I love just buying cheap little things for my desk. I got these pens off of Amazon. They're Papermate and it's 60 for $6. They were on sale. I'm so excited about this. I also went to Goodwill yesterday. The plants that I'm propagating, they are doing amazing. They are ready to be planted. Look how cute this one is. It's not very big. I was looking for bigger plant pots, but I couldn't pass up on this. It was $150. Might have noticed I do absolutely everything at my desk except sleep. I work here. This is where I do my hobbies. I eat here. I literally exercise here with my walking pad. And because of that, it can get a little messy. So something that's really important is to keep the workspace kind of clear. As a general rule, I try not to leave dirty dishes on the desk. And I do have a trash can nearby, so trash goes in the trash can. But I do try to take every Saturday and just kind of clean up and organize and sort everything. Usually by the end of the week, I have like 1,000 post-it notes scattered everywhere, just full of a bunch of ideas. I throw out the ones that I don't need anymore and keep the ones that I want to digitize somewhere. I don't have any drawers or storage on this desk. So something that has really helped is having this box. This is full of mostly wires, if I'm being honest, wires and drives. And that just goes on the shelf above my desk. And it's nice because if there's also anything just kind of random, I just throw it in the box too. So some other things I do want to touch on really quick. If you can have a playlist, make some. I can't really listen to music too often when I'm working, but when I can, I do listen to like chaotic academia playlists, stuff without words, but it's really energetic. Another problem a lot of people have when they're working from home is distractions. If you have kids, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. But I don't have kids. And for the most part, the house is fairly quiet. And it's normal for me to be the only one home during like 9 to 5. So really my biggest distractions are my laptop itself. It's so easy to just, oh, I'm gonna take a break from work and just slide on over to YouTube. It's so easy to get distracted by my phone. So I do utilize the do not disturb. I also know that when I'm starting to feel like that, when I'm starting to feel the urge to like go watch YouTube or listen to a podcast, usually it's because something else is going on. It might just be I really need a break. Sometimes it can be that my mind is just going 100 miles a minute thinking about stuff that's not related to work. This happens all the time. So I literally have to get stuff out and down on paper. I literally made this whole mind map yesterday because I could not stop thinking about all the steps I would have to do to learn new skills and get my website up and going, all that kind of stuff. So getting stuff out on paper, that can be very helpful. Something I would really try to avoid is being unintentional with your breaks. And this looks like scrolling. I do it too. It's okay. But I found that how productive I am with work directly comes from how much self-discipline I have. It's almost never because of factors that are outside of my control. And the last thing I want to say, because I do have to get back to work, I could keep talking about this for hours. There's so many aspects of like how to romanticize life from working from home. But yeah, the last thing has to do with seasonal depression and working from home. And basically how I'm trying to deal with that. First, try to position your desk somewhere near a window so you are getting some sort of natural light in the day. And when the sun goes down, make sure you have some sort of lighting set up so you can continue to work. The time change just happened for me. It is getting dark, like it's dark at 6. I hate it so much. Having some sort of greenery around you. Obviously, I have all of my plants and I touched on plants earlier, but plants, even fake ones, if you can't keep these alive. I do find that I have trouble working after it gets dark out. I can work in the mornings when it's dark. So I have been getting up. I started work at 6 today, like 6 a.m. That's what I've been doing since the time changed. My alarm is set for 4:45. I have an hour to kind of like wake myself up. I can scroll, I can watch YouTube, I can make breakfast, I can text people back, I can make matcha, whatever I want to do in that time. And then I start work at 6. So that's what I've been doing. So I've been able to finish up earlier and while it's still light out, which has been really nice because then of course, if I want to like go out and do something, it's not like pitch black out. And this next thing doesn't really affect me, but I know it'll affect some of you who are watching. The social aspect, maybe just in general for you, but around seasonal depression and stuff, you know, cold, dark days, shut inside, not seeing anyone, not talking to anyone. I'm usually fine with that. It doesn't affect me too much. I literally think I could just fall off the face of the earth for like a month and be perfectly fine. And okay, I am working on like a social tracker. So basically the same thing as my work tracker. So I can put in like how many hours and stuff. It's not finished yet, so I can't show you it. I basically calculate out how many hours a week I would like to spend doing social stuff and then try to fill that. And that can be a really good way just to make sure you're going out and you're seeing people and you're interacting with people. I know it's also really hard for people to not have friends who get freelance work or get working from home, like they don't get it. And I can't really give advice here, but I have been on Bumble BFF recently and I've been looking for all types of girls to do like all sorts of fun things together, you know, but specifically those freelance or work from home girls. those are really who I'm looking for, and I found a few. So I think I'm gonna try to meet up with them. And it's nice because while yes, I would absolutely love to have like some deep connection with these girls, 100%, it can also just be like, oh, we meet up at a coffee shop and we're going to do admin together and we're going to talk about like, you know, things that are just going on in our businesses. I think, you know, like we need friends for different things, and friends for work, that's something I just do not have at all. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm sure if you live in a bigger city, you could go on Facebook and there's gonna be Facebook groups for this kind of stuff. Okay, it's getting like impossible to film in here, so that is my cue to leave. Bye.